Welcome, my name is GuruMeher, and I'm going to teach you about senses of the soul. I want to talk about this thing I call senses of the soul. What are the senses of the soul? They are your emotions. Now, if you're like most people, you think emotions are like the heavy ones, you know, fear, anger, depression, all that dark, heavy stuff. You just think, what's the purpose? Like, it's just a pain, it's a weakness, I don't like the way it feels, man, it never leaves me alone. You're seen as emotional and weak, and it's just a problem, right? Well, it really just depends on how you use it, how you use your emotions. So it turns out that, in fact, emotions are an essential part of your sensory system, your ability to navigate through the world. Okay, so what do I mean by that? You have 5 senses, right? Without them, how are you going to get around? How are you going to find out if this is going to hurt me or help me? How are you going to find food? How are you going to get through the world? Well, so we developed slowly as we evolved physical senses to get through our physical body through the physical world. But there's an invisible world, the world you can't see. Okay, so I'm sitting here, and I seem to be safe, but I feel really bad. I feel sad, I feel depressed, I feel lonely, I feel scared and anxious and stressed. Well, you can't see that anywhere except maybe you see it on my face, but it's an internal experience I'm having. So there's this invisible world within me. How do I navigate that? Okay, I can see you, but how do I tell if I'm safe with you, if you love me? How do I feel my way through those subtle spaces of acceptance, of respect, of love, of esteem? Well, you have a parallel sensory system, parallel to your physical senses, and it's called the senses of your soul. It's called your emotional senses. And you don't have to believe me about any of this stuff. It sounds different, sounds new, it may not sound right. That emotions are here as your guardian angels, as guides, as protectors, as healers. Who knew fear, stupid fear was that? Well, I want to show you how true it is. So I've got a whole course, a series of classes that you can take and get this training. And give you a little taste of it here, because this is how we do it. I give you some ideas. I've just given you some ideas. Instead of a bad thing, emotions are your friends. They're your allies. They're a wonderful thing. But with that information, how are you going to believe that? It goes against everything you've experienced. So I'll give you a different experience, your own experience. So in this work, we do a little talking, a little thought-provoking things, just to set up the experience, and then we have an experience. No big deal, simple technique, so I'll show you one. Just do it with me right now to see what happens to you. It's nothing weird. Take your hands like this, just working with your body. Put it up underneath your arm, in your armpit. Thumbs up, fingers are straight back. All right? And then just kind of hug yourself a little bit. All right? No danger there yet, right? Now, bring the shoulders up. Why are we doing this? This comes from the ancient techniques of yoga that were discovered in India over thousands of years. And they've been safely proven in clinical trials over thousands of years. So don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Now, so do that. Now close your eyes. Come on, you're sitting there with your video. Nobody's watching you. It's cool. Just close your eyes. I'll close mine too, all right? Now, just start breathing slow and deep. Now, feel what you feel, okay? I'm not going to tell you what to feel, but be aware. Turn your outer senses. Normally you go out there, what's out there? Now you're looking, closing your eyes. You're still, you're stable, everything's cool. So now your attention, your brain power can be directed inward. What's happening inside of you? There's a lot of information that's coming from you about you, about what you need, about what's not going well. You have the sensory equipment to know all that and to know what to do about it. But just hang with me. So, what do you feel? It feels like you're uptight, right? It feels like you're scared and uptight. But you're also hugging yourself. You're protecting yourself. Feel both of those energies. Feels like something's wrong, but feels like I'm here, holding myself, protecting myself. Now, this is just a simple technique. Usually we suggest you drink some water. So if you're feeling intense emotions of any kind, here's a simple technique. Drink a glass of water. Do this 3 minutes, at least 11 minutes, and watch it calm you down. So I'm just going to keep talking while the clock ticks and you feel it. I've got dozens and dozens of these techniques to share with you. Some for general all emotions, some specifically to control anger, to work with fear, to rise up out of depression. These are proven techniques, but prove it to yourself now. So you're breathing, you're just feeling whatever you feel. And I'm just going to ask you to allow, has anything been bothering you? Is anything bothering you now? Have you been feeling a lot of something, discomfort, frustration, anxiety, stress? What have you been worried about? Let it come now. Just go ahead. Don't run from your problems. Be willing to face them. I promise you can handle it. And just, do you feel a difference between how you normally, you just want to do something else, go somewhere else, you know, distract and not feel, because it doesn't feel good, but just watch, just allow it. And imagine it's sort of like blood flowing through your body. There's like an energy. Whatever you're feeling, there's this emotional energy that has a physical component. You can feel it somewhere in your body, and it has a distinct, you know, butterflies or heat or tightness. You're just increasing your self-awareness, that's all. This is already happening a lot of the time. You're just paying close attention, that's all. Now, don't resist it, all right? Like depression, it's like a black hole, like quicksand takes you down. And if you felt a lot of it, you're not really wanting to feel it. It's scary. I don't know if I'll ever get back out of it. You will. Especially with this just simple posture you're in. So just don't resist it. Let yourself feel it. And if it's intense, it could be mild, medium, or strong, depending on your situation. But especially if it's intense, you're like, oh, I don't like that feeling. Well, think of it like when you ever sit in a hot tub and it's pretty hot, and at first you're like, oh, you go slow, don't you? But you know it's good for you. You know it's going to feel good eventually. I mean, if it's too hot, you get out. But a hot tub, you want it, if it's going to really be therapeutic, you want it a little uncomfortable at first. And then what happens? You sit there, you say, all right, I can handle it, not going to be a problem. If you're just sitting there listening to me and not having this experience, it's not going to make any sense. So come on, put the shoulders up, close the eyes, and explore. I'm just trying to guide you through your own experience. Let the emotions flow and just hang in there. Don't resist and go like, all right, I'm getting used to it, like that hot water. All right, getting used to it, getting used to it. And then what happens in the hot tub? You go, a little later you're sitting there going like, yeah, this feels good. I'm okay. I can handle it, and it's a good thing. Now, I don't know if you're going to get there in the few minutes that we're doing this, but I've seen hundreds of people do this simple exercise, and they do feel relief. So you might need to take it a little longer if you're in the middle of something intense right now in your life, but work with me now. And are you still breathing deeper than normal? Breathe deep. There's an added little part that if you focus your eyes up just above where the eyebrows meet, the lower center forehead, that can help consolidate you. Now, you may start feeling, just because you've been willing to feel these, just like the hot tub, you might be feeling a little relief. Well, let's see if we can encourage that. So just talk to yourself. Listen to me, like everything's okay. I can feel things, and there's some good purpose to it. I may not know it yet, but it actually felt good to just let off some steam, let myself feel that. And as you do that, slowly let the shoulders drop, just really slowly. You'll feel more relaxed as they drop, but decide that you're more relaxed and help them drop, just so there's a feedback loop. And relief and relief and relief. Wow, I felt some emotion and I'm okay. And maybe just the feeling of it allowed me to relax some more. Until they finally drop, and then let them down by your side. And just see how you feel now. If you feel even a little better, you've just proven to yourself that there's ways to deal with your emotions that are very proactive. Use that anytime you feel a lot of emotion, but also you can use it regularly to build your strength so you can go through things easily. Now that's just the shortest taste of a technique, mostly to show you. I hope you had a good experience, but go ahead and open your eyes, inhale, exhale, open your eyes, and just come back. So you just went into your own inner laboratory and you experienced something. And for most people, even that first little taste was a relief, felt better. Now, if it uncovered, you got big issues, then it may not have been enough. We got stronger tools for bigger jobs, but that's the format of this work, is just some information and then an experience that you can learn from. So we call this senses of the soul because your emotions have a purpose, and that is to help guide you through life successfully, bringing your attention to situations by having strong emotions, and that same emotion brings information about what's wrong and how to fix it. Simple as that. Now I've got a whole training system set up for you, a series of classes. I developed this work with the help of people like you who just came to me for help, and we discovered, wow, everybody's got a problem, has got some strong emotions with it, and the emotions are actually part of the solution. So I've got a foundation course, 4 1-hour, more or less, 1-hour videos with some text and some downloads, in other words, some documents. It comes with some coaching, some live, so you'll be self-studying, watching the videos and just going along, just like what we're doing here. In fact, exactly what we're doing here. But then there's an opportunity to get together with some other people doing this work and talk on the phone with me, and I'm a qualified guide to help answer your questions and guide you through experiences. It's practical. Do this not just to learn it, but to solve issues that you've got. That's why most people come to this work, okay, for a number of reasons. Feeling a lot of bad stuff, don't know how to deal with it, may have been there for a long time, may be a current issue. Some people come to their therapists or healers of some kind that want to help other people with it. So it's for your own good and for the good of others. You can learn these techniques. So that's the introduction class. It'll give you the basic what emotions really are, how they really work, how to work with them, and then an introduction to the 7 primary difficult emotions. I call them the 7 heavy heroes. All right, so namely, shame, guilt, depression, grief, fear, desire, anger. And those are families, so there's lots of related emotions that come under there. And I'll give you, in this foundation class, a guided tour through all of those. You get to know the language of each of them and their purposes, so you can work skillfully, masterfully. Can you imagine how much pain emotions cause in this world? We got medication, we got addiction, we got abuses, we got, 1 in 10 Americans is on medication or being diagnosed for depression. Anxiety is the most common disorder. It affects more like reported and diagnosed, 1 out of 5. All right. So anyway, it's a mess. You may be feeling that mess yourself. So we'll go through the individual and learn all that. But imagine a world where people we all know how to, hey, boy, what am I feeling? That doesn't feel good. I know why. I know what to do about it. Boom. Feeling good again. That's how we were built. That's what we're meant to do. We just haven't figured that out yet. Okay? Now, in this training, we've got another module, we call it, 4 classes on each of those 7 emotions. So once you learn the overall foundation, how the whole thing works, get a little skills under your belt, then you can go step by step through each emotion. Got the same sort of setup, the same support network, the coaching, the videos, and the text, and the practices, dozens of practices that'll help you. How to deal with anger when you're very angry, how to deal with depression. All right? And then there's one more additional one, because emotions have such a special role in healing trauma, past wounds. Very special. So we've got a whole module just on that. And you can take them right straight through. We've got them set up 101, 102 like that. Or once you do the foundation, if you're like, I got anger issues, I'm really suffering from depression, you can go right to that module, learn that, and then come back and learn the other emotions, because they all work together. It's like the superheroes, you know. They come together, the Avengers. Each one has a special strength, but when they come together, they really can take on the heavy stuff, the bad guys, right? So that's my little introduction both to the work itself and to this system that we have called Senses of the Soul. And it's available to you through soulanswer.com and sensesofthesoul.com. You can go there and read much more about it and how it all works. Call or email me. The information will come up at the end of this about how you can get started. So we've also got some other little clips. We got a little introduction, 5 minutes to each of the individual modules, so you can see a little more detail what each one of them is about. So again, I'm GuruMeher, and I hope to bring you this great information and knowledge. It's life-changing. I've helped so many people, and they're just so grateful to learn how to not have their emotions be a big pain and a big problem, but really, you know, an angel sent to you to help you. Okay, hope to see you again. Take care.